Hi everybody, we're Rob and Leslie Hildebrand.
Welcome to the Château de la Grifferaie.
3 years ago, we sold or mortgaged everything we had to buy this beautiful chateau.
With the hope that we could create a special place of learning for young people to learn about their world and themselves.
It's been an amazing adventure so far, with so much more to come.
So come along with us as we wake this sleeping beauty and restore her to her former glory. We're back! Yay, back in France.
Hi everybody, Mr. Bingley, your friends Rob and Leslie. Season 5, yeah, Mr. Bingley. He's in his happy place. He's running around, he's chasing the birds.
Yep.
He's got exercise, he's got food. He's got the French countryside.
He has long hair.
He has long hair.
Almost time for
I
grooming.
have long hair.
Almost time for
Leslie's
grooming.
the only one with pretty hair. Well, you'll see that in other videos. But yeah, no, we're back. We're excited to be back. This video, the highlight is going to be taking a look at the roof, which has recently been completed.
Amazing.
It looks amazing. We had some questions, some things happened. They called a mason. There was some trouble.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't send us pictures or tell us what it was. So we were trying to like, okay, we'd like to know about this. So we're going to explore that. Yep. But before we do, we're going to start going back in time, looking at the last month of our life.
Yep. All the things
moving,
happening in our family.
Our daughter getting married, working on that, getting ready to get married. She's not married yet. No. Hopefully. No, she's not married yet. August. And so lots of fun. Enjoy the video. Come along with us. Who's going to France? We are. It's packing time. Mr. Bingley's not sure what's going on. He is not sure what's going on, but we're packing. We got 20 boxes of books right there. Start the library, and we're gonna get that container going in a couple weeks. And the girls are getting to go on a adventure.
We have a lot to pack in the next couple of weeks. We have to pack it all up. We are looking at everything under the sun. Venues for Amy Girl. Dresses, you name it, rental places, dishes, oh my goodness, so many things. So we will be doing this in record time. Thank heavens we do events in our life and this isn't daunting. Yeah. But we do have to get our butt out there even though it's pouring rain. We've got to get moving.
So the girls are ready. They've got rings are on and polished. They're going to wedding venues and good times hopefully in the next couple hours. Yep. How'd it go?
It was good. They gave me a present.
They gave you a present?
They did.
America.
And it even has French on it.
Oh, look at that. Now that is America if I ever heard it.
Champagne flutes.
And the chef won.
The chef at this place won chopped.
Whoa.
On Food Network. I know.
What'd you think?
I can afford it,
yeah,
but it looked nice.
Ah, well, we'll see.
What is your fiance's name? His name's Isaac. Isaac?
Beautiful. Wedding preparations continue. This is the Multnomah Falls Lodge, and we've always thought it'd be an awesome place for a wedding. Only problem is you can't put very many people in there. Probably too small, but we're gonna have a nice little lunch with Amy and Isaac and enjoy the falls as part of our wedding research. All right, now normally in America we don't get courses, but we're gonna be waiting, looks like maybe half an hour for them coming out of church, and long drives, so we decided to get the $4 soup. Tomato bisque and French onion. Whoa.
I don't know why, they seem kind of easy. Yeah.
Whenever we'd be gone, they have...
That's cool.
So when you live in different places at different times in the year, I try to maximize the amount of time we spend with our kids when we're actually in North America. So David had given us tickets to the Blazer game, which is the basketball team in Portland.
Portland Blazers, Trailblazers. That was awesome.
It was a great game.
When you take on a big project like buying a chateau, there's lots of beautiful things. There's also lots of work. And one of the costs has been, of course, we had to sell our house. We've moved 3 times in America in the last 4 years. And they've been tough. This one was maybe the toughest, I thought.
Ugh, yeah. It's not like we don't know how to move. We've moved a few times in our life. This one was weird because we had to not only kind of pack up on a deadline. I had to be gone for November, so it's not like I could start ahead of time really before I flew out to France for the roof, which was unfortunate for me because I'm a processor. I like to plan ahead. But we had to pack for a container to go to France. We had to pack for anything that each kid was taking to their houses. Other stuff that I want to keep, but I don't want to take to France and send to the beach. And then of course there was planning the wedding and cleaning up the house and you cleaning up the job at the end in Portland. There was just a lot of pieces to that puzzle and not enough brain space to accomplish.
We had some great friends help us move. You know who your friends are when you have to move, and thank you guys all so much for helping us move. Yeah, there we go. Here we go, truck is here on time and early even, amidst winter weather warnings and a huge pool of water. And moving out of my office, people ask me, is this emotional? Yeah, it was 20 years, you know, we love it, but honestly, we're so excited about being here and what's gonna happen here that it feels good. And we're really excited to be down to two houses.
Yeah.
Less things to worry about. All right, day one, back in France, and it's time, the sun is out, and it's time to take a look at the roof, see how the roofers did. It was really kind of a dangerous thing doing this while we're away. And we noticed something right up front. I don't think they got that one repaired. So I think they said they were gonna do that, but we will see. Let's take some steps out and then we'll go take a look. All right, here's our first look at the front. A little bit hard to see with the sun in the background.
But we'll take the sun.
But yeah, we definitely want the sun. I'm actually quite pleased with the way the scallops look. I thought that was gonna be not great, and I think it looks pretty good. Let me zoom in. What do you think, Bess?
Do you really know what I want?
Yeah, you can say. We're both jet lagged, remember, so we're a little bit tired and down, but
it is what I thought. They took a piece, some of the flat, solid piece that's above the scallop off.
Yeah.
Because you can even see on the middle tower how there should be more relief above the scallop, and there isn't any.
So they hid that, which camouflages some maybe difficulties. But I think all in all, I think it looks good. I'm pleased.
But the zinc is patina.
Yeah.
Growing patina finally.
That's fun.
Oh, thank goodness, on the corner pieces.
Yeah.
So,
that was faster than expected.
And the top, he said 3 months it should start.
Yeah.
And the top ridge, the two sides are rounded and the middle is not, of course, because we took that off.
Yeah.
But
can't even
no
tell.
one would even.
Oh, it looks good. All right, so there's a little easier look with the sun not shooting right at us. Looks good. A little bit of a line on the left. Now, one of the things we've been, or at least I've been concerned about is we got an email from a roofer a while back saying that they were going to, at their expense, hire a mason to shore up some of the work. And we were kind of like, we'd like to hear, you know, we'd love to see some pictures or hear some details. And he said something connected to the skylight. So I'm not sure what that is. We haven't seen it yet, so that's good, but it certainly made us a little nervous. Now, this was a win for Leslie, and I didn't think this was possible. So the guys did the little towers, and when they did them, originally now they had these beautiful scallops, but then when they did them, they just went with regular shingles, which didn't look super good, I didn't think. And so I was like, I don't know what we can do, but then Leslie said, let's write them, and so you wrote them, Les?
I did indeed.
So Leslie wrote them and asked them if they would, or told them, you know, hey, we'd like it kind of the way it was originally, which they had told us they would do. And sure enough, they took them down and redid them. So looks good.
So they should.
Okay, so here we come around the back. Great to see those skylights look in very good shape. Now I'm a little bit confused or curious to know what that white is by the chimney. It looks like maybe that's where they did the masonry work. And why. So very interesting. We'll take a closer look at that. Now again, I'm confused. What do you think about, do you have thoughts on the white stuff?
Well, yeah, I assume it's
something happened.
Cement.
Yeah, I don't know if they meant it to, you know, go on the slate like that.
Well, the bigger question is, does it come off over time?
Well, and I'm a little bit, you know,
leave it like that.
Obviously you don't want it like that. I'm more curious about what's behind it, like why they did it and what.
Of course, we need to know the story. Also, the finial at the top of the tower is crooked now.
Oh, it is slightly to the right.
slightly.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Interesting. Yeah, it's hard to fix that. That's pretty tall. It's a shame they wouldn't have done that when the thing was still here.
Indeed.
Well, this is very curious. Now, my guess is that rain, like they had it and then rain got it and spread it out and they didn't, maybe even when they left, they didn't see it that way because I don't think they would have left that.
I'm also wondering if that third front panel of the tower, if that's the old stuff or the new stuff. See how at the bottom there's different color black tile?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it does look different, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
Maybe they didn't do that.
Or they just patched a few?
I don't know.
It looks like.
I mean, it's definitely, the big picture, it's great to have it roofed.
And then at the very top of the tower,
yeah,
there's a rounded piece on the left in the middle, and then on the right, it's not there.
That was the previous guys. I noticed that one before. They changed that. It's too bad they wouldn't have done it to match, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy, it's complicated, a big roof like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad that we're not gonna have any new issues.
Mm-hmm.
I know one guy that's happy to be back. Hey, Bingley, you happy to be back? Yes, he says he is. Romping. He wanted to go out so bad last night, but it was dark. Didn't want to get picked off by an owl.
Or anything else.
Something else.
You've got to get this window shut up top.
Yeah, let's turn around here.
I can't believe it's open.
Yeah, we noticed on several of the pictures
did you
that
not shut that when we left?
yes, it was shut. We noticed on several pictures that that window had been left open up top, which is probably why those birds are all hanging out. They got easy in and out. We were kind of hoping it would be bird free, but
yeah,
guessing that is not the case. Now, maybe they wanted to dry it out because a lot of water got in there.
Yeah, but
And also that window it needs to be propped closed, so it is tricky, but maybe they couldn't get out without, I don't know.
Here they come.
Yeah, there they are back again.
Right.
Our little flock of birds, well, their days are numbered.
Before they nest again.
I agree. And there's no shortage of birds up there.
Zoom into the window.
Again, this is the Château de la Grifferaie, the Castle of the Claw, so perhaps it's not completely unexpected. Okay, now this is good news, I think. We're zooming in here, and you can see that they put some of the white stuff on the other chimney too. So perhaps it's just that the rain washed the other one out and made it look funny, but it's more rather than a major. Like, I was having nightmares that it was, you know, the chimney was falling or something like that. Also good news, they put the skylight up there, but it's really hard to see, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted it down and low so it wouldn't be visually in the way, and it looks great. So that's a little piece of good news for the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, points to the guys. Look at that. They cleaned out their area.
They did.
They cleaned it really well. Nice job, guys. I don't know where the garbage bins went. Hope they didn't take them.
They might have.
They may have. But this is great. I was wondering if this would be a bit of a mess, because it has been for the last half year. We figure while we're walking around, let's also talk a little bit about the house. Again, you can't see it here. This is the area we've been cleaning out, and Leslie, you made a couple good points. She was just saying it's this time of year when you can see things.
Yep. Oh, no leaves and stuff yet. So that one tree, that big guy right in front.
Big, beautiful oak.
His trunk would look much more lovely if we got all of the sucker kind of mayhem. Yeah, all those guys.
Yeah, cut those out.
Cut off, and then he'd have a lovely clean trunk.
That's great. I brought a few new chainsaws, so that's really exciting. Mm-hmm. It's nice to see the sports court, you know, with the fence back up.
Agreed.
We haven't seen any new leaning trees.
No, but we haven't walked through.
No, we haven't walked all over yet. Well, here we go. We'll keep continuing on. Yeah. So I think maybe a lot of the bins got thrown into the big, huge garbage. But on the upside, the bins are only worth $10 or $20 each. You hate to lose anything, but yeah, it's $100, as Leslie says. Those look good though. You can see we're gonna always have issues with birds, you know, sitting on the poles and pooping. So that is that. Yeah, they have, everything's gone except looks like this, one little bin. Yeah, it looks like it's coming back. It was looking better last year, I think.
Well,
there's some spots that are.
It took a beating again from this last time, and it needs to be weeded.
Yeah, we have to weed it, and then maybe do some trimming.
Helping it. I think it needs more aeration.
Yeah, hard to say.
I don't know if you find this interesting or not. However, sometimes it's kind of fun to see what people pack. we see outside. Rob is out there mowing once he finally got the blade fixed on the lawnmower. Because what else is new about that lawnmower? Anyways, and of course our Bing looking faithfully ahead. So anyways, what makes the suitcase and not the container? Well, there's a few things. Want to check it out? So we have any number of suitcases that got checked on the plane, which we did check this time. So what made it in other than lots of clothes, lots of blazers, lots of scarves, sweaters, lots of sweaters, a few shoes because, you know, we needed those. Lots of fabric samples, because again, we got to be making some decisions soon. Some pictures that I would love to put into some of the frames that are in the living room. For me, it just makes it feel a little more homey when you have pictures of your family. Some seeds from my mom's columbines that I've had for a couple years now that I realized when I was packing. Does anybody have one of these in their kitchen? I have missed this. It is so great for checking whether things are done, and I have loved it so much, and I finally have it here with me now. Yeast, because I still have yet to get used to French yeast. Lots of cookie cutters. I didn't bring them all. Donuts, some fall leaves, hearts because Valentine's, you know, some fall things for next session, because I don't know, you know, you think the container's coming, but. And then in here, I have some Capri Blue Anthropology oil. Don't mind the air purifier. No, the dehumidifier. My goodness, it is going to town in here. Do you want to see why? Because up on the roof, on this side, you can see that mess up there. You might have to zoom in, but yeah, it's not great, actually. I won't show you all the imperfections, but yeah, there's a lot of water above us right now, and you can even see over there, maybe you can't right now, that some of the trim is kind of separating, and also more cracks in that corner and more mold up there, which is not great for me. But anyways, we digress. Air freshener stuff. It's like oil, you know, with the sticks. The house is kind of musty. This stuff, which is hard to find here for whatever reason. Someone did a scratch in my quartz counters, so I want to fill that so I can keep ahead of that. Faithful Gorilla Glue, which I bought at Walmart before we came. Remember the urn outside? The urn has the handle that broke because of what we think is the bore, but that's still a mystery. So I'm really hoping that this is going to work as exterior. There's different kinds of Gorilla Glue. I think this is going to be great. More tablecloths for during session. I know it's tacky using these vinyl tablecloths, but I have to say during session, until we get permanent tops that are made of wood, these are just faster and easier. We don't have time to be doing laundry every day with tablecloths. And for goodness sakes, you guys, these are like $3 at Walmart each. Yep, that is worth it. A filter for the Breville, coffee espresso machine. And oh, this thing's fun too. I'm looking forward to this. Some of you will know what this is. This is for making the little tiny miniature muffin tins, you know, when you make little tarts and stuff like that. This is just much easier. You put your dough in, you tap it down. It's like a tamper, and it creates the little crust, which is super fun, I think. And it will make it a lot easier when we're making a bazillion of them. So anyways, that's our general recap between dog leashes, scarves, and everything else. But Mr. Bingley wants out. One suitcase down, another one to go. And we'll keep discovering what I shoved in my suitcases. I'm coming, Biggie. Okay, I forgot a couple things that were very important to me. Paint fans. I could only get one in, well, in a tiny one, just because they're so doggone heavy. The rest are in the container. Very sad, but at least there's one here finally. These little cups. I love them. I think they were my mom's. I use them to hold Q-tips, brushes, you name it, but I was able to squeeze 3 into my suitcase. Essential oils to keep away the mice and other such critters, which I'm happy about. A nice little holder for the phone when I'm talking to the kids, so I don't have to hold the phone the whole time. It actually works really well. More inhalers, just because, you know, I'd like to stay alive. And I brought more full size of different products that I use, and it's kind of nice. And I probably won't be finding these from Ross at $4.99 when they're $25 at Target. So anyways, you gotta enjoy the joys of both countries. And so I packed it up, and we're thankful to finally have them here. And not to be forgotten, a very large can of baking powder. Baking powder is only single action here, and I just feel a little better when I'm making a lot of stuff to be able to use ours for now until I really experiment a lot with the French kind. And you can never have too many measuring cups. I especially like these kind when they're imprinted into the glass so that they don't wash off the markings. So I really liked this little guy. I found him at Target. I think it's a new product. I think it's fantastic. So I'm excited to be able to use that.
So coming into the house is looking pretty good. We did notice a few things. Got the big, beautiful windows open. So nice. Coming down, you do notice that there's some more plaster on the ground. Yeah, let's go up. You can see the ceiling is gonna need attention, which it will get because it's a beautiful ceiling. What was that, Bess? Oh yeah, and again, I'm trying to stay a little bit positive here, but let's go out to the foyer. The foyer is showing some wear. Oh, here's another issue. They were gonna fix that, but it doesn't look like they got to that. Honestly, this is a big project, and I think probably took a lot longer than they thought and probably cost more than they thought. Really impressed that they stayed on budget. We didn't get any surprise bills. The exact amount they told us we had to pay is what we paid, or what we're still paying. We haven't made the last payment yet. So you gotta give them points for that. Coming into the foyer, we noticed very quickly that there are some things. Give you a nice look at the pictures. Yeah, here's the foyer. We noticed that this is perhaps the only area that did very poorly in the last month. There's some mold, and there's also more chipped paint, quite a bit more. So this is gonna need attention sooner than later. See that? So that, again, the roof has been off, there's been water in the house, and it does leach all the way through. Leslie also noticed, we did pretty good for mold, but the one area that has not done well has been the top area up here. And we had cleaned that before, but this is not painted. Notice the painted area, the new paint, looking great, much better. No chips, no mold. Well, I say no chips, little tiny chip. But the area that we have not painted is looking moldy. So we're gonna get the scaffolding out in probably the next month or so here and have to do that. Coming into the salle à manger, the dining room, looking good. We got the windows open. Ceiling still looking amazing, as it always does. And I mean, I love when the students are here, but one of the only things I like about the students not being here is the beautiful table, which kind of feels a little nicer in the room. But yeah, still love this room. Beautifully warm sun. For January, the end of January, start of February, and Leslie has a chair for Mr. Bingley so he can enjoy looking at the birds and the animals. You appreciate that, don't you, Mr. Bingley?
Okay, we've got ourselves all in the frames. It's a celebration of all things from last summer. David and Aim. And of course, them coming out as soon as they said I do. And I have a couple over here also. My nephew Luke took the photos. He did a smashing job. They're just gorgeous. And there's my two girls now. Very fun. So we'll get to enjoy that for the rest of this year in the house. And then this summer we have another wedding. So we'll be able to mix it up and have a few other family pics in the frames as we go along. Have a good day, guys.
Up in the attic, looking around. Nice, look at the beautiful shingles, looking great. And the gutter is largely clean. Here we come around. Come around. You can see that these uprights, like they have these areas where the water comes down, and then of course when the shingles were falling, they would all end up there and then clog things up to high heaven. So hopefully things will be a little better. We'll see. Oh, let's look up. Let's look up. Yeah, that looks good too, doesn't it? One of the things the guy said they would do would be to replace this. This is a toilet vent, and they cut it out, and so I'm like, oh, that's not good. But then I look up here and it looks like they did put a vent in there, so I just need to do the plumbing. So that's the good news. I can do that. That's doable. If you're not familiar with doing plumbing vents, whenever you have it down, like, you know, a pipe like this, you want it going down into the house, so eventually that connects to the toilets. Then it runs down, but you want to have air from the top, just so that if there was ever a problem, like if there's ever a lot of pressure, it wouldn't like push all the water up out of the toilet, spilling all over the place. And also it vents the air too, so it's a really good thing. So I'm pulling the tarps away. We definitely have a wet roof, and I'm gonna go ahead and hope that water's been there for a bit, because that is still quite wet. We'll see. It is nice to have the windows open just to air this place out, and it needs it. There's definitely, the floor's been wet for a while, and so I'd love to close everything up and get the birds out finally. But I think we gotta dry this out first. So this is really the only obvious water in the house still, and it has been wet here for a while, so it may take a bit to dry out. This was also the last part they worked on. Really happy with the windows. Yeah, those are great. Although maybe narrow to get through, but it looks like they're in the right place, and they're really not very obvious when you're on the outside. So very thankful for those. You know, this has to be one of the most pleasant bathrooms in the world. I mean, obviously, you know, we've done a little bit to it, but the beautiful colors on the floor, and then the walls. But the thing that makes this beautiful is just the size of it. Huge, tall ceilings, and then the massive open windows. And you know, most of us are used to going to the bathroom in, I don't know, a closet in kind of a cave. It's all dark, and here you have beautiful light, and you can hear the birds, you can open the windows, you feel the fresh air. It is just absolutely wonderful. Oh, there's Mr. Bingley chasing out the birds. Good for Mr. Bingley. It is, and it's January 31st when I'm shooting this today. And it's about plus 14, plus 15. That's like getting close to 60, 55, 60 Fahrenheit. Sunny and just absolutely beautiful today. You know, when they talk about weddings, they talk about golden hour. I think we've got crystal hour here in the Chateau in January, February. See if we can catch some of this for you. It is sparkling like crazy. It looks super cool. Thought you might enjoy it. All right, the roofers are coming to look over the roof and talk about final payment. And so I went up to the attic to look around and found a couple things. I really like the little windows they put in. Really like the windows. And I'll come around to this one here. You can see they're ingenious little guys. And you can open things up and let them vent if you want. And also in a good spot, so it'll be easy for me to get to that drain. You know, you got to reach down there. Oh, this is the one that we have to, these two we have to keep clear, so that's why these windows are here. But you can't really see them from the outside, so really thankful for that. Nice job, guys. Nice job. And we will lock them up. Boom. So we still have a ton of birds here. Of course, the windows have been open, so they go in and out. I saw about 7 or 8. And I'm trying to get them outside because they're gonna die if they don't leave. So, you know, I really want to get them out. But that's a bummer. But then there's a good thing. I think I figured out where the masonry they were talking about. They said they had a guy come and doing some masonry to help out, and I think I figured that out. Here it is. Okay, I think you see there's some concrete there. I think they reinforced this front pediment, which is great. You can see that there's a support there. There's one up top and here. Originally, they had a metal bar that went across to the middle, but so this is the new system, and it's probably better. And I'm thankful that they did that because obviously we don't want this front pediment falling down. That would be terrible. So I think that was the mystery. Now, did they run into difficulty? I hope not. I should go look at it from the outside for sure, but that's where the work happened. Did someone bump it and it fall down? I don't know. Maybe they just saw it and they were trying to help. I'm not sure, but mystery solved. I also noticed that I don't think they did that panel. I think that's the old, someone had refinished this panel a while back, and I think they just left it as is. They said close enough, which is kind of a bummer. I don't think you can tell from the outside, so I probably won't make a stink about it, but it would have been good to have it all the same. It's always hard to know, like when to make a stink and when not to. My instinct's always just to kind of live and let live. I don't like conflict. Leslie's is kind of like, let's get it right. So maybe it's good that we're married. Coming towards the valleys, you can see we've got both the windows open, and we'll have a good look out there. So this is looking good, I think. Nice job on that tower. It's interesting, they kind of turned it, they reshaped the top a little bit, I think. But, I mean, it looks good. Someday we're gonna want that cupola back on there. But for now, it looks like they didn't do the little circular pieces on the inside because they figured no one could see it. But they did them on the outside, so I'm thankful for that. You can kind of see the top piece. Looks nice and sturdy. That's great. And coming around to this side. I mean, some of the old trim at the top doesn't look that great, but in general terms, good. Yeah. This has been one of my biggest concerns. It looks like they put some bitumen or tar over it, which I'm thankful for. I really thought that that was going to get replaced as part of the roof. I think they're saying they consider it a gutter. I'm like, it's like 8 feet wide, or it feels like it's part of the roof to me, but we had a disagreement on that point, I think. So there it is. What do you do? Hopefully it doesn't leak. And this is good. This one has been our perennial leak. Remember where we had that antenna poking through? They did a real nice job on that. So that's great. That leak, I think, is done. Again, for North American, it's weird because you see the corners and you're like, I see light poking out those corners, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. But with the slate tiles, I think that's just more par for the course. So perhaps that's more normal. Okay, here we go. So there's our cupola-less tower, which is a bummer, but it does look good. This is good. They put a new little wood ladder there, which I would personally not feel real comfortable going on. Man, it almost looks like they missed some tiles up on that top part, doesn't it? Interesting. There you can see the workaround job for the antenna. And generally speaking, pretty good. Now, again, this is where I'm nervous. So they did a real nice job putting this extra stuff over top of those ridges, and we can just only hope that there's not more leaks. They found, looks like a couple holes, and they put some stuff over it. I mean, time will tell, right? Time will tell what happens. Either water will go through there or it won't. I'll have to come up here on the regular and double check that. But that's kind of part of owning a chateau. Also notice, this is kind of interesting. See that big metal wire? I think that's our electrical ground. It goes all the way up to the top, runs up the back, all the way up to the top. So that's kind of cool, in case you were wondering. Yeah, down to the ground. All right, so, you see I use my 2 worst words, all right and so. This is the spot where the masons were working. Oh boy, that camera zooms in really nice. That is an improvement for sure. Yeah, so our big back top front pediment there with the face. Now you can see there's a missing piece of stone. Right, see if I can get in here. Whoa, hello, right there. But that was actually missing beforehand. We looked at old pictures. Oh, look at that. Leslie's got an old picture right there.
Yeah.
Let me zoom out here. Yeah, you can see on the old picture. There's, by the way, the lights up high.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see that that was missing, and over to the left was missing. And then do you want to scroll us over this way? Here we come. You can also see that on the left side, that was already missing, whereas the right side, there's a little thing there. See what I'm talking about?
No.
On the right, no, you got it, you showed it. So the right, on the right hand side, there's something, but on the left, it fell down long ago. So from what we can tell, no change. So again, a mystery. Is it just they saw that it was precarious and they decided to get a guy to come fix it? Or it's also possible maybe a ladder slipped inside, or
I think
something.
it's maybe right here.
You think that's different?
Well,
No, I don't think so. Looks the same. I'm wondering maybe if something fell, like a board or something, and hit that. Because there was one metal beam running, if I can get my hand in here, running from here to the middle. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's possible that that bar broke and they wanted to replace that.
You know what we should do? We should take a picture of it now
Yeah.
and then zoom in and then compare, because it's hard to see from down here.
All right, we'll do that. But anyways, from what we can tell, it looks good. So I was quite worried about this, maybe unnecessarily. Look at her. Even on a cloudy day like this, you just can see the beauty, just the beauty. I'm gonna zoom in on those. See, not bad. Now, the middle section is a little bit more like the original, so it's definitely better. You know, you can see it drop down a bit more, and it's definitely shorter. And I think the video makes it even look a little bit, but you know what? A little bit less like they match, but they will patina, and honestly, you know, could be worse. So really, really excited. The guys came by today, the roofers came by, and we chatted for a bit, and we walked around the property. Only a couple things left. We have the one lantern still broken and the skylight broken. I also asked about leaks, what happens, and I really appreciated how honest they were. They said, yeah, you know, it hasn't rained in the last couple weeks very much, and so we don't even know if there are leaks. There could be. I love that he was honest on that. And he said, we'll just come back and fix them if there's leaks. So it's a big, complicated roof. And so we sent most of the payment, almost all of it, just held up, you know, just held back 10,000 to finish up the last couple things. But I mean, they've been in good faith. They worked with us in good faith. More or less, they did a killer job. They worked hard and they stayed on budget, which in the United States would be completely unlikely. And you'll notice, remember, we were looking at the big pediment, not this one, but the one on the back. We told you that they had a mason. He explained exactly what happened, and perhaps I can put some video over top. So what happened apparently, and let me zoom out here again. So what happened is, as they got up there, they noticed that there was a 15-centimeter gap opening up. Like the whole thing was leaning away from the house, and they were very concerned about that. They didn't want it to fall while they were working, or even just a fall period. And so what they did is they hired a mason. He came in there and he attached it all. Super thankful, and that is great that that mystery has been solved. Thanks very much, guys. That means that now I get to do something I have wanted to do for a very long time: close the gate. It's been almost a year. You know, we contracted the roofers at the very end of 2022, and of course they started work in June. So half a year, or more than half a year of work, and a half a year of stress, or a full year of stress. And we're at the end of it, and it's just going to be great to close this gate. Not going to lie, I'm going to lock it. Wonderful to know that no one's going to surprise you in the house. There's just something about the privacy, and I really love this about France. I love the gates. I don't know, you just know that you have your space. It's really cool. I have come to appreciate it. I thought it was a bit funny when I first got here. I already had locked gates because it's so different than what we had in Canada, but man, I like it. And so I'm gonna lock this bad boy up. We're gonna use the front electric gate, and we're just gonna have rest for a few days, because Lord knows there's enough other projects that are in need of our attention. Oh, I never noticed the chimney on that. Look at the chimney on this side. Yeah, lots of projects. Here it is. Boom. Does that ever feel good? Privacy. Privacy and rest for a couple days. You know, it's very popular to talk about self-care and rest these days. And we've had a lot of good friends that say, you know, when you get back to France, you guys need to take some time. Because I'm not gonna lie, it has been a crazy couple months. We have moved 3 times in the past 4 years. This was definitely the hardest. All 3 of those times were challenging. The first time we had bought the Château and we knew that we needed to sell our house and get out in about a month and a half, something like that. And so that was a rush. We were going from 2,600 square feet down to a 4-bedroom apartment. If you've seen those videos, you remember we lived like hoarders. Then a couple of years later, we had, or 1 year maybe, a year and a half later, we had to move out of that apartment. And that was really rough because we found out, I think, a couple of days before we went back to France that the school needed it. So we literally got off the plane and went and got a moving van and started moving that very night. First night we were out. Took a few days to get everything over, but it was incredibly stressful. This one was tough because it's a permanent move. We had to get rid of our cars, which we sold / gave to our kids. And that brought me great joy, to be honest. But it's complicated. And we had to send our stuff overseas. It's coming in a shipping container in April. And I think things went to 5 different places. Some to Goodwill, donated, some to our kids, some to the house at the beach, into the storage, into the closets, and then of course a 20-foot container here to France. So it was a complicated move, and it has been crazy. And of course this move was unexpected because of the school's situation merging kind of quickly. I think the whole merger, they told us at the school, the whole merger happened in 3 weeks. So the school was in a bad way. Had to move fast, and that was not easy for us. And so we're still on jet lag here, but didn't accomplish a huge amount today, and that is maybe okay. Some days you just need to catch up a little bit. I talk often on these videos about how you have to win the mental game. You know, owning a chateau and working on a project this big, a lot of it's a mental game, you know, keeping yourself going. Now, maybe some people not as much. Maybe some people are more disciplined mentally than me and more steady. Leslie would be a good example. But for people like me, man, you gotta stay ahead of it mentally. And jet lag is, for me, really tough. I like to think that I'm a fairly strong individual most of the time, but something about jet lag makes me want to give up. And so the first few days when you're back, I try really hard not to get too pressured, and just to try to win that mental game. Because I know by day 3 or 4, I'll be ready to work hard. Okay, isn't that great? Look at that. So you can see the little skylight there, but only from certain angles. They did a really nice job on that. All right, so we bought a humidifier about a year ago. And check this out. Full. That was about 16 hours of work. Well, maybe even less. I turned it on in the morning. By evening, the whole thing full. Yeah, that's one humidifier, 16 hours. All right, one more cool piece of info on the roof. We were talking to the roofers and they said the mason was looking around and he said, you know, really we should get a mason to come look at the chimneys. Now he said they're not gonna fall tomorrow, but he said they do need some attention. And that has been something I've always been nervous about. So, you know, that's probably advice we're gonna take. I think we'll have someone come look at it, maybe repoint some joints, make sure it's nice and strong, because those chimneys are beautiful and we would never want to lose them. They still look pretty straight. And that one on the right almost looks a bit leaning to the left, doesn't it? They also told us, you remember we had the, we noticed that there was kind of the white stuff, as they called it, the milk from the cement, that, you know, it rained after they put it, and so it kind of spread out. They said that they couldn't rub it off without damaging the tiles, so they said in a few months it should wear away now. From what I know of grout, that doesn't seem super likely, but I'm going to trust them on that and hope that it goes away in the next, he said 3 months, his colleague said maybe 6. So we'll take it. If it goes away in 6 months, we're okay with it. Notice also the birds. There's a couple birds up there trying to get back in. I closed the windows and I'm trying to get them out of the house so that they don't die. They're not listening to reason. I'm trying to convince them, but they just kind of do what they do. So God love them. Come on, birds, get out of the house. I don't want you to have to die. So we'll do the best we can. We'll go put some loud music on there and try to drive them out on a beautiful day and then close those windows. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that I always start and end these videos with music taken from Handel's Messiah, which I think is one of the greatest pieces of music ever written. And it's not just the beautiful songs, it's also the words behind the songs. So you'll notice For Unto Us a Son is Given is always the Christmas series. And we've used other songs, like Every Valley Shall Be Made Plain. It's talking about the Messiah coming and all the things being put in place. And we thought that was fitting last year because we were trying to get so many things in place to do this. This year, we also have a beautiful song. I forgot what it is.
I don't know the name of it, but I like it. Shoot.
Oh, thou that tellest good tidings to Zion, right? Yeah.
That's not it, is it?
It is.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah, because we have the,
Really?
Yeah, this year's song is Oh Thou That Tellest Good Tidings to Zion. And it's about telling good news. And I guess with us being out here full time, it just kind of feels apropos. So we've got the start of the solo and then the end of the choral piece the next. If you haven't ever listened to Handel's Messiah, you should do yourself a favor and listen to all 52 songs in a row. We love the London Philharmonic's version. Incredible. So that's what you're hearing here.
So we're excited about season 5. We're so excited for all of you that maybe are new that have joined. If you're still confused at what we're doing, please go back and watch some of the old ones. Sorry for not great video.
At the start especially.
We're still not great at that, but we're giving it a go. However, thanks so much for supporting us in so many ways. And many of you are on Patreon, which we are so grateful for. And perhaps this year we'll be able to get a few Patreon videos.
Yeah, we figured since we're here full time now, we're going to try to do at least a video a week, and then some we're going to put on Patreon too, because
extra footage.
This is sort of our main thing now. So we're going to go for it, and we're excited you guys are coming along. Enjoy. Thank you very much for coming. We're in Selwood, and we're going to Papa Haydn's for lunch, and we see
a peacock walking up their staircase.
A peacock.
It's not only Château in France that have peacocks.
No, we're not stalking this peacock. I swear we're not stalking him.